obviously this has been a very tragic start to the new year here down on the Gold Coast. Yesterday at around 2 o'clock local time, we've had 2 helicopters that have been operating out of SeaWorld, both undertaking a tourist joy fly experience, have collided mid-air. Now that's a couple of 100 metres from the landing pad at SeaWorld and probably at 200 or 300 metres in the air. What we do know at this very early stage of the investigation is that one helicopter was taking off. That's had 7 people on board. Another one coming into land with 6 people on board. Now they've collided. The one helicopter that was taking off appears its main rotors have collided with the landing helicopter, caused considerable damage to the front section of that helicopter. In the process of that collision, the main rotor blades and gearbox of the helicopter taking off have separated from the aircraft, causing it to tragically crash down onto a sandbar. At this stage, we've got 4 people who have tragically lost their lives. Another 3 are in a very serious condition in hospital. The second helicopter coming into land, now that has remarkably managed to land upright, and considering the damage that was done to the front left-hand section of that helicopter where the pilot was sitting, that's been a remarkable achievement. So whilst it has been very tragic that 4 people have lost their lives and many families are mourning this morning, we could have had a far worse situation here, and the fact that that one helicopter had managed to land has been quite remarkable. The process now for the ATSB is to gather all the intelligence and all the evidence we can. We certainly would like to thank those of the community that were witnesses to the event who have come forward, those that have camera footage, CCT off buildings. That will be very important for us to try and put together what has occurred here, and particularly those final phases of flight. We know the takeoff and the landing phases of any aircraft operations are critical phases of flight, where the cognitive workload of pilots are at their greatest. What we do need to know now is what was occurring inside those 2 cockpits at the time. We do have multiple accounts from witnesses and, as I said, a video, but equally we'll get what we can from those 2 helicopters to try and get a better picture of what was occurring, but equally what were the processes in place that are designed to actually protect helicopters in this situation. We know that it's a busy time of the year. We know helicopters are in and out of that SeaWorld helipad constantly throughout the day, so we'll certainly be looking at multiple lines of inquiry here around the procedures that were in place and potentially what has helped contribute to such a tragic outcome that we're standing here today. At this stage, the helicopters are both being removed off the sandbar. They'll be taken ashore where my investigators will get a better appreciation of exactly potentially what's occurred and the forces that were in play. But what I would like to say is that our thoughts do go out to all those that have been affected here, not only those on the helicopter and their extended families, but equally to all of those people who were on the boardwater yesterday that have witnessed what is very confronting scenes of those helicopters coming down, and particularly to those members of the public that were the first responders that were on scene, and then obviously to the police and emergency services and ambulance who had to deal with that site and do their best in very trying circumstances. As I said, they've both been on a sandbar. The tide has come up overnight. Whilst we did get a lot of that perishable evidence off the site last night, and the stuff that we really do rely on, a lot of that electronic, I guess, recording equipment, we now have a painstaking job of trying to recreate exactly what's occurred in the lead up to this tragic start to the new year.